Recreation Park. Tuesday, January 9th, 2024, 6 p.m. at 505 Sunset Avenue. Roll call. Actually, we're going to do the flag salute first. Okay. Everybody stand for the flag salute.
Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, if you guys can please remain standing, we'll begin the location. Lord Jesus, we just come to you today. We just want to give you all thanks, all glory. We ask that you continue to keep our district in your favorable decisions at all times. We ask that you just let us be able to make the right decisions when we come to every agenda meeting. Let us be able to continue to work together, and continue to bless all our partners. And we ask that you bless this meeting and bless all of us, and let us be able to get home safe after the meeting's over. We ask that in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Director Rodriguez.
Here.
Director Chavez.
Here.
Coach Rodriguez, not here tonight. Chair Salinas.
Here. Posting of this agenda was posted at the SRPD office, the Shafter City Hall, the Senior Center, and the district website. Further information regarding this agenda notice is available at the SRPD, 700 East Tulare Avenue, Shafter, California, 93263. Time posted Friday, January 5th, 2024 at 6 p.m. Public comments. This portion of this meeting is reserved for persons desiring to address the board on any matter over which the board has jurisdiction. Speakers are limited to 5 minutes. You may state your name and address for the record. It is voluntary before making your presentation. If you have any questions you would like answered at the board meeting, please email the district secretary at bchambers@shafter.com. Does anybody have any public comments that I'd like to state at the moment? To the consent agenda here. A, approval of agenda January 9th, 2024. We can approve, you said we vote.
Yes.
We did not see it.
So as of right now, we can approve October 24th, 2023 minutes. December 5th and December 12th, we need Director Fortino to be here. So we would have to table those. And then whenever we get to the correspondence, I would love to discuss that.
Okay.
Yes. All right, so I'll make the motion that we approve the consent agenda minus items C and D. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I'll second that motion. So going down to H, correspondence.
We need a roll call first.
Sorry. Director Rodriguez.
Aye.
Director Chavez.
Aye.
Chair Salinas.
Aye. All right, H, correspondence.
All right, so the H correspondence is pretty much, we've received notice of public hearing before the Kern County Board of Supervisors in regards to a public hearing that is going to be taking place January 23rd, 2024, in regards to a conditional use permit number 1479-7/27. The name of this application is the Kern County General Service Department, PP 24124. So the approximate location of this property, just so you guys know, is going to be located on the north side of Martinez Street, between Big John Street and Mantle Avenue, in the area of Chapter APN 09-2022-03 and 04. The request of this request is considering a conditional use permit to allow constructions of a community park with a basketball court, a playground area, on 2 parcels for the record totaling approximately about 15,406 square feet in R1 low density residential district. So if you guys flip through this, so this is gonna be on the Mexican colony. All this will be taking place on the Mexican colony. And so if you guys flip through the correspondence, you guys will be able to see, they have a map of the ideal location of where they're gonna be putting this. It looks like it's gonna be a playground, a picnic area, and a basketball court. So just wanted you guys to be aware that there is a playground and a basketball court that's gonna be put out there in the Mexican colony. And they will continue, they're continuing to work on this stuff. Just food for thought for all that, okay?
Have they set a date for it?
No, the only thing that we have is the public hearing. So the only thing we have is the public hearing that is being taken place January 23rd, 2020. Do you guys have any questions at this time? You guys good?
Have we been asked to conduct any activities or anything out there in regards to this specific court?
So nothing has been emailed to me in regards, there has been some approach from Supervisor Couch in regards of getting sitting down and meeting to see if we'll be able to help with this project. But nothing has really been pushed forward towards us. But there has been conversations with, just over the phone or in person. Hey, we need to meet, we need to do this, but they haven't executed any initiative to pretty much touch base with us and for come to a board meeting and have that presented.
Maybe on that.
Yeah, maybe they'll kind of see that it is gonna be going into fruition and it will be actually being, it's actually gonna be done, so. Just food for thought.
Standing committees, standing committees, at this time, should I? We have the board committee assignments, should we just go through all of them now, or should we? Because I know we have them.
There's nothing really to report on any of those committees, and I know we're gonna need to sit and meet, but at this time, there's nothing to report.
So then I feel like we should just deal with that.
Yeah, that's totally.
Assess
After.
Correct.
All right, so number 8, staff and consult presentations, district manager, district manager.
All right, so, have you guys had a chance to read over my report?
I did a couple of.
Do you guys have any questions? There's a genius. So pretty much, some of the stuff that is going down here at the senior center, last Friday, January 5th, we did have Congressman David Valadeo, touring our facility, checking out what the Meals on Wheels program is, on the county side for the aging and adult services. Also taking a tour with, our staff, Maria Martinez, in regards to our daily function of, activities that we have down here for the seniors. So this is pretty much just recapping of what we have going on down here. Monday through Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, there's activities for the seniors starting at 8 o'clock in the morning, all the way to about 11:30 each day. On the first and third Thursday, we do have our leaders program, where we pass out sack lunches or sack of food to the seniors that have signed up. It is a first time, there is a cost for the first time. I believe it's like a couple bucks, and then after you're signed up for that, then you're able to come in and get some sack of food, a couple sacks of food to be able to take home and be able to use it at home. Some of the key stuff that they have going on right now, they have started a program called Step by Step with Aging and Adult Services, which is an exercise class led by the Kern County Aging and Adult Services. They do have, we do have our Zumba program going on Mondays and Wednesdays, 9:30 to 10:30. And then we have, we're gonna be off on January 15th because of Martin Luther King Day. So we won't have anything going on that. But then every morning between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m., they do have coffee and they do gardening. So that's an everyday deal. We do have a little garden that's in the back of the Walker Center. And so they're continuing to do, continue to do that. Starting January 22nd, the step-by-step program will be finished and Dignity Health will come out here and start doing their exercise class. And that would run all the way until the end of the month. So, but yeah, so things at the Walker Center, that's what we have going on here. District office news. As I stated, we did get reached out to, or we did have a tour with Congressman David Valadeo. This is going to be, tonight is our second hearing. Basketball clinic will start this Saturday. And then we'll be off, like I said, on January 15th. I will be sitting in on a webinar for CSDA, California Special Districts Association, in regards to prevailing wage. And then basketball games will start next week. And then we'll have our third district hearing meeting January 30th. And that is pretty much all that I have for the month of January. And I'm sure stuff as we get done with this meeting, there's going to be a lot of other things that pop up. So, do you guys have any other questions?
For that, you had on here that you had a conversation with Sam for the Aquatic Center.
Yes. So I did get approached last Wednesday. Well, two things there. So we did get new basketball courts at the activity center. We paid half of what the cost of, I think it was like $30,000 for the basketball courts, new basketball courts at the activity center. And in the past, we had purchased those ones probably about 22, 23 years ago. And so what we did is they gave those courts back to us. So we coordinated with the local company here, Ame Automotives, to store those courts in one of the warehouses that they have. And so all six, so we had Cash Pro Towing come out, we loaded all those up, we put those down next to Floyd's. So we have six basketball courts if we're ever needing to use. And we did partner with the Salvation's Training Ground. So if they ever wanted to use those, they would be able to use those as well. And so at that time, Sam Boyle was doing a story in regards to the aquatic center. So he just asked for my feedback on what was the reason why we had terminated our agreement over there. And for us, it was just to terminate the agreement in regards to renegotiating an agreement. But the term or the termination or for the city manager being terminated, at that time there was a change in city managers, and then COVID hit, so we never really got to those negotiation parts. And so so that's pretty much what we had stated to the Channel 23 BBC News. And we're looking to, whenever the aquatic center is ready to be open, we're looking to be in on those conversations with the stakeholders, try to see where we can help the community. So, but that is pretty much all I got.
Were you gonna go over Skylar?
No. Skylar is first week of basketball practice is going on today, so he is balancing 3 different gyms. So he's at the Mennonite Church, he's at the activity center, bouncing from there to the whole gym at the high school. So that's.
Do we have any 746 Sports Foundation?
We are still meeting. We're needing to add. Hopefully, after this meeting, we pick our other person to fill in that vacant seat, and then you guys will be able to appoint them to the different committee. So that's part of it.
Do we have Gilbert in the house today? Gilbert Garcia?
Gilbert is not here, so I think we can move on to old business 9A.
Okay. So old business, 9A, district voting, information for district minutes.
All right, at this time, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to Q2, and Stephen Ochoa is gonna take the reins from here.
Good evening, guys here from there. Good evening. Yeah, I'm the short one, so how's that? All right, good evening, Dr. Don. Good evening. All right, good evening, buenas tardes, happy new year, feliz año nuevo a todos. I am back again. I am so glad to be here. And this is our second hearing of 5 meetings regarding districting in chapter recreation and park districts. Next slide. So today is specifically our second public input hearing before any map drawing is conducted. I wanted to do, before the public has a chance to give additional input, I wanted to do just a quick overview of what we did on our last meeting on the December 12th. This is nothing new from the December 12th meeting. These are just, with the exception of this overview slide, they're all the same slides from the larger jurisdiction, just trimmed down. Just to give let's get us all back up to speed and to really focus in though on what are the best practices for giving specifically community of interest testimony today, and where we are, how we got here, what would be the best, what is the best information specifically I need to draft some maps for your jurisdiction. So we're just going to quickly go over the conversion process in our upcoming timeline. We're going to go over, quickly review the criteria that is guiding this jurisdiction's districting. And then community of interest best practices, and then just finally turn it over to the public participation process, part of this process. Next slide, please. So first, just a quick overview of election systems, and which leads into the conversion process. What are we converting from? For local jurisdictions, there are 2 common types of election systems, which we discussed at length last time. There is an at-large system, which is the current election system that Shafter Recreation Park District elects their body with. And this is where every voter votes for every board member. You have elections. Each member has a term of 4 years, but every 2 years voters have a vote for 2 or vote for 3 option, and everyone gets either 2 votes or 3 votes out of a list of candidates. The candidates can live anywhere in the jurisdiction, but it's a multi-vote system for the voters. Shafter Recreation Park District has voluntarily chosen to switch to by-district election. A district election system is where you divide the jurisdiction into districts or divisions. The candidates, and specifically for Shafter Recreation Park District, you're doing 5 districts for 5 members. Each district will elect 1 member. Only the residents of that district, the voters of that district, will get to vote for the list of candidates for that district. So before you had 2 or 3 votes, every 2 years, you're going to have 1 vote that's only your district or division get to vote for that candidate. Next. And as I said, this is the second of 5 hearings, and the process we are undergoing are, we're going to have 2 hearings where we are educating the public and the board members about, what is districting, what the process is, what are the rules, but most importantly, we're gathering public input. And today is the second of live public input opportunities, with the deadline of tomorrow via email before I have the chance to start drawing drafts. But today's meeting is hearing about gathering input. And then at the end of this section, by the end of this section, the board members are going to give me directions. One, or as much or as little direction as you have about how to start the draft. And then basically, I'm going to take the information that I've heard, I'm going to take the directions, and I'm going to do my best to come up with a scenario or scenarios to satisfy as many as I can. And you'll notice then that you see that on this calendar, January 16th is when these a draft map or maps will be posted on the district's webpage, and they will be posted, not touched, for 2 weeks until our next meeting in 3 weeks from today. So the public will get, so I get 1 week to try to draw first drafts. Then 2 weeks, they will be left alone for 2 weeks to give the public a chance to comment or prepare comment. And then in a hearing in 3 weeks is going to be all the next commenting of actual map or maps in front of you. You will say yay, nay, I wish this, or I hate them all. I mean, whatever you guys feel. But these next 2 hearings are really, really the best chance for the public to shape the maps. And then finally, then we're going to have a final meeting, or close to final meeting on the 13th, where really, you know, and next iteration based on inputs and directions from the board members. But it's really going to be the close to final map. Maybe minor tweaks can be done at that point, because then they have to be kind of voted upon and then left static, so you guys can formally ratify it on the 27th. But that is our process that we are undergoing today. But today and next hearing are really, basically the next 3 weeks is the public's best chance to really shape and influence the process. Next slide, please. Just as an overview of the criteria that the rules we will be following for chapter recreation parks district. We have 5 criteria ranked. So they are in order of priority. Equal population, which means all 5 districts have to be roughly equal in population. Compliance with the Federal Voting Rights Act. We spoke at length about the VRA last time. I advised everyone to review the video from last time. I'm not going to go through it here. Just know that I'm going to be looking for opportunities to draw Latino majority CVAP districts, so Latino citizen voting age populations, and at least give a little bit of feedback onto what is possible or not possible to the board, so they know at least the initial parts of compliance with the VRA. Contiguity, all the districts have to be in one piece. Imagine your district line is a big rubber band. You can stretch it however you want, as long as you don't break that rubber band, it's still one piece contiguous. Compactness, which refers to the shape of the district. And then finally, respecting communities of interest, which is really the meat of this hearing. Next slide, please. And again, just to review, again, the districts we're going to be drawing. Our districts are about 4,066 people. Each of these 5 districts is the ideal population target. We can go roughly plus or minus 203 people, to stay within allowable deviation range, which is what we reviewed last time, what deviation was. But basically, this is our target of district population size. Total population, again, man, woman, child, citizen, non-citizen alike. That is big rule number 1 in districting and district. Next slide. But I wanted, again, the real meat of today's hearing in particular is the last criteria, which is communities of interest. I think of today, and particularly community of interest hearing, like today is the factory. We are on the assembly line of the factory. You have the chance to shape the Lego block that I get to try to put together in some way. If there is strong testimony about a certain neighborhood and strong agreement on the boundaries of that neighborhood, you get to shape a really good Lego block that I'm going to try not to break as I create lines. And I also just want to point out, you also have a worksheet online and in handouts here in person. Online, it's at the chapterrecreation.com/districting. Go to the describe of COI linked part of the webpage, and these questions are still there as well for those who are online. But what is a community of interest though? So just, it is a population, a neighborhood, a region of a population that shares interests. It's in the name, community of interest. There's no legal definition because it is also comes from the community. It's what you define yourselves. Now, if you have a neighborhood in Shafter, I'll make up a name. I don't know, we'll call it the Disney neighborhood. Everyone loves Disney. And okay, we'll call it the Encanto neighborhood. We'll stay on the Disney musicals, okay? What is the boundary of that neighborhood? Is it Los Angeles Street? Is it Laredo Street? Is it State Highway 43? What is it? What binds them together? Aside from magic. Do they share common ancestries? Do they share common histories? There is a church, there is a park everyone goes to and always has the parties at. We're always camping out at that park. Because everyone camps out at 6 in the morning to get their park space for the family park party. Is there a church? Is there a grocery store? Everyone's always going to this grocery store. Whatever it is, whatever is the story, tell it as fully as possible to show all the interests, to help show why this is a community of interest. They're all poor, they're all working class, they all work in one agriculture. Nope, this is where all the managers live. I'm making things up, but what are all the commonalities? Things that I cannot put in a spreadsheet in particular. And what can you do to tell me why they should be kept together? Give as much detail as possible where if a map maker draws a line through it on purpose, it is just me. Think of it that way. It's as instinctual as that. So that, and again, there are some guiding questions on the worksheet. Again, on the districting section, describe your COI, also handed out in the back. You'll see what are your community's mutual interests? Where is your community located? I.e., give me some street boundaries, or definitive boundaries. Why they should be kept together. Keep these leading questions in mind as you come up and give testimony or email testimony to the district, so it helps us define. Because at the end of the day, if I hear no information, I am guessing blind. And I'd rather not do that, but I will do my best for the jurisdiction. But if I don't have information, I may put a line somewhere that then everyone's gonna say, that makes zero sense. If I can avoid some of that, I'd love to. And that's where I really, really depend on the people and the board members who know their community the best as well, very well as well, to give feedback and direction. And again, this really gets back to the why you should testify. And I'm so glad there are many people in the room today. And if you're online, I truly hope you prepare to submit online testimony on the webpage that's listed on this slide. But again, it really does come down to, if you do not define yourselves, someone else will define you for you. Maliciously or accidentally, either way, someone else will define you for you. I don't want to define you. I don't know your jurisdiction. Tell me, please. And the more information I have, the more Lego blocks I have, it helps me draw hopefully something good that will help, that will serve the public and serve Shafter Recreation Park District. That really is what it comes down to. So please tell me information. Else I have to guess. And I don't want to, and I don't think you want me to guess. Next slide. I do want to give one last note, particularly for those giving community of interest testimony. on the subject of race and districting or race and redistricting, courts, I'm not an attorney, but courts have really been trying to frowning upon using race in districting and in voting rights and such. I'm not saying you can't use race as you're describing community per se. I would say ancestry is more useful. I would challenge you as a thought exercise, at minimum, can you define your neighborhood that you want to talk about without using race or ancestry? It's a challenge to you, just because it will give you a stronger COI definition. You know, don't say this neighborhood is a, you know, minority neighborhood, should be kept together. That, you know, it may not be, it's not really, particularly when you're talking about community of interest, you're not talking about something the size of a district, so you're not talking about the Federal Voting Rights Act in that regard. But, you know, race cannot be the sole reason we're drawing something. And it definitely should not subjugate other traditional redistricting principles. So it can't be predominant, can't be, you know, subjugate other principles, you know, so, and we can't, you know, do something to that make force of odd shape just on behalf of race. So it really is a challenge I give to you. Can you describe your neighborhood without even talking about it? Can you talk about it in terms of income, in terms of working class, in terms of needs for constituency services, or organizing around, again, a neighborhood park or near church or school? You know, that will give you a stronger community of interest testimony. You know, so I just wanted to reiterate this concept. Just don't say we're a minority group X, you know, draw our community this way. It's not because it can't be just that they are moving away from this, unfortunately or fortunately, you know, in legal practice. So it's just my suggestions to you. You know, try not to even use it. It'll just make your testimony stronger. Next slide. Again, this is just a simple drawing of the Parks District, and I know the staff have handed out another simple map also to the community here. And I don't know if it's online or not.
Yeah, that, I don't think that is online, but we did give that out to community members and everybody that's gonna be involved.
Right.
In regards to this, and it's a small lettering, but we're gonna bring up the Google Maps still, right?
Yes, but then this map is also again on the slide, so people can download the PowerPoint itself. But next slide. But again, we're reviewing from last week. This is a more a detailed map of kind of the core populated area of Shasta City. And this is a map shading by total population, just to give you a sense of where the population is. Again, remember, your districts are going to be about 4,000 people each. You know, and some of these very dark areas are you know 600 to 800 people. You know, large percentages of potential district. So just know that really, when you're talking about the 5 districts that are going to be developed, they're all going to be touching this part of chapter. So just to give you some context, and as Philip indicated, when we start talking during the community input hearing today at this hearing, as you come up, you know, tell us what area you're talking about, and then we're just going to pull up the Google Maps because we want to make sure. I want to make sure I have the streets of a neighborhood or boundary you're trying to talk about. So we can write these down. Staff will be taking detailed notes as well. So we have everything, so we can all follow along and have the same conversation. And I want to make sure I understand. But I'm sure the board members want to know that, make sure they're understanding. So we have everything out in the public. Okay, next slide. So that's it. Reminder. So again, today and really tomorrow via email is the last time you can submit testimony before I start drawing. And then again, I have to give the jurisdiction maps to post by a week from today. Draft maps. All right, I'm very good. Yeah. So I'm going to be here listening to you. I'm probably going to be interacting with you. And I'm available to answer some questions a little bit after the meeting. And if you feel you have to give something else, that you can make to help you guide you how to email, what to put in an email for some follow-ups. Right, that's it for me, Mr. Chairman.
Does anybody have any questions?
Por aquí yo tengo que ir al.
¿Cómo se sienta más a gusto?
If we can have them go to the mic,
Sí,
and
sí,
then-
va para
so
que
we can get,
para que pueda escuchar.
so that way we can get name and just all for recording purposes.
Si nos puede dar su nombre, por favor.
Puede traducir del español al inglés, ¿verdad? Nuestro traductor.
Se puede.
Ok. Mi nombre es Gustavo Aguirre. Estoy con Centro en Raza, Pobreza y Medio Ambiente. Obviamente no soy experto en este tipo de procesos, pero yo creo que el interés del grupo con el que trabajamos, ¿verdad? Y que pues, vamos a estar colaborando con ustedes con el Distrito Moviendo para adelante. Una de las áreas, ¿verdad? O las áreas que se nos ha compartido con nosotros de parte de los residentes es cómo mejorar las áreas que tienen más necesidad de inversión, ¿verdad? Aquí en la playa, pero y obviamente ustedes viven aquí, yo no conozco su comunidad como la conocen ustedes, pero parte de mis preguntas, ¿verdad? Es, por ejemplo, las colonias, la colonia mexicana, las otras comunidades, miembros que viven ahí, que participan en las juntas con nosotros, pues, hemos sido olvidados, ¿verdad? Entonces, ¿cómo moviendo para adelante, ¿verdad? Especialmente los fondos que van a estar llegando del acuerdo que hicimos con la compañía de bandas, pues, pudieran ser usados en las áreas donde hay más necesidad, ¿verdad? Yo creo que sería. Y una de mis preguntas, ¿verdad? Es, vamos a decir.
Can you speak into the mic a little more?
Yeah. Y una de mis preguntas, ¿verdad? Es más para ustedes, para quien está llevando el proceso, es parte de mi experiencia porque apoyamos a comunidades a través del condado y obviamente vamos a las juntas de los cruceros del condado y participamos en la aprobación del presupuesto del condado y muchas veces lo que pasa es si hay fondos, ¿verdad? Para el condado, muchas de las veces esos fondos son divididos por distrito, ¿verdad? Dentro de los 5 distritos, muchas veces casi y por cantidades iguales de fondos, ¿verdad? Y una pregunta para mí es cómo se pudiera hacer aquí con ustedes. Si no entiendo, no sé yo el proceso de ustedes, cómo lo han hecho en el pasado, pero esa es mi pregunta, ¿verdad? ¿Cómo lo harían ustedes de una manera que no fuera dividido tal vez en los distritos iguales, asumiendo que, como estaba explicando el señor, ¿verdad? Las comunidades de interés, ¿verdad? En este caso los vecindarios de interés aquí con ustedes, es para mí una idea sería las colonias, ¿verdad? Que tienen esa necesidad, cómo pueden crear esa voz que ahorita no la sienten, ¿verdad? Y hay otros vecindarios aquí en su comunidad que también están tal vez en situaciones iguales donde hay necesidades, hay inversión. Entonces, una de mis preguntas es cómo se pueden crear los distritos donde tal vez moviendo al futuro no sean divididos los fondos que lleguen en números iguales, pero basado a la necesidad de cada uno de los distritos, ¿verdad? ¿Cómo se puede balancear ese poder de 5 votos que va a haber ya que se haga eso, ¿verdad? ¿Cuál sería el proceso? Yo creo que para la persona que está guiando esto, ¿verdad? En su experiencia, ¿cuáles son las mejores prácticas para que ustedes puedan establecer esos procesos y los distritos de una manera que pueda invertirse más en las áreas más necesitadas, ¿verdad? Como digo, menciono las colonias porque conozco un poco más, pero siempre está yendo para Guaspa y otras áreas que también hay miembros que han dicho mis calles no tienen banquetas y todo eso, ¿verdad? Entonces, es una pregunta, saber cuáles serían la recomendación de los que están guiando este proceso de que se centraran los distritos que fuera equitativo con esas comunidades, esas colonias que se pudiera invertir, ¿verdad? Que no fuera nomás, vamos a partir de usted igual, y aunque yo estoy gordito, de todas maneras me como mi parte igual, ¿verdad? Pero es donde hay más necesidad, podemos dividir más fondos donde hay más necesidad, ¿verdad? Entonces sería esa una de mis preguntas, ¿cuál sería la mejor manera de hacerlo? Casi en general, ¿verdad? Porque como yo entiendo, ¿verdad? Las comunidades de interés es, tal vez las colonias podría ser uno uno de los distritos, ¿verdad? Tal vez otros de los vecindarios que tengan esa necesidad. Pero también, obviamente, si se hace un distrito que sea central, basado a los números, tal vez en la parte central de Chiapas no hay la misma necesidad que en infraestructura, ¿verdad? que otras colonias. Entonces, más bien es pregunta, ¿verdad? ¿Cómo se pudiera crear ese distrito donde se les dé más énfasis a donde hay más necesidad, ¿verdad? Al fin del día esa es la pregunta principal. ¿Cómo se puede crear donde parte del proceso ayude a que los fondos vayan donde hay más necesidad?
Para estar todos en la misma página, la pregunta que nos está haciendo es cómo concluir los 5 distritos y enfocarse en las áreas que tengan más necesidad para los fondos que nos están recordando. Bueno, esa es la pregunta.
Sí, en parte, como entiendo, y me corrige la persona que está guiando el proceso, cuando hablan de comunidades de interés, ¿verdad? En mi mente es, por ejemplo, Cherokee Street o la colonia, ¿verdad? Estos vecindarios que están vecinos uno con otro, tienen necesidades, en mi opinión, más grandes del centro de Chiapas, ¿verdad? Entonces, cuando hablan de comunidades de interés, ¿verdad? Para mí es el mismo interés en esas comunidades de mejorar, ¿verdad? Entonces, pueden apoyarse juntas, ¿verdad? Entonces, ¿cómo se hace eso? Pero al mismo tiempo, ¿cómo se equilibra cuando ustedes ya pasa el proceso, que estén los 5 distritos y que ustedes, los directores de parques, puedan hacer esas decisiones de una manera pues, más justa para las que necesitan?
Primero le quiero agradecer por estar aquí y por darnos la oportunidad de contestar sus preguntas. La confusión creo que con lo que estoy escuchando es, nosotros somos el parque y distrito, pero no somos la ciudad. Entonces los recursos los que estamos mencionando ahorita es de distribuir el distrito para poder tener un balance de toda la comunidad para los niños y para las actividades que hacemos nosotros. Entonces ya como otras cosas como parques que son de la ciudad, carreteras, todas esas cosas que son diferentes, eso ya vendría de la ciudad, pero somos un equipo que podríamos utilizar a ustedes y a todos los que están aquí para tener esa voz, para poder tener ese balance. Me imagino que en el futuro, yo creo que la ciudad también va a llegar a ese punto donde se va a tener que dividir en distritos y no va a ser como de un voto solo. Es lo que yo pienso que va a pasar en el futuro. Con la fundación que habíamos mencionado con Wonderful, eso es otro proyecto diferente, así a lo que mencionamos de que si sale un proyecto que ustedes dicen, saben que a lo mejor en esta área se necesita más, trabajaríamos juntos para que todos tuviéramos un voto unánime y que fuera algo positivo para lo que se necesita más. Pero esto específico necesitaríamos más de la ayuda de ustedes porque es algo que estamos aprendiendo para que todo sea igual, pero no es para dividir como la economía de la ciudad, porque no somos parte de la ciudad. Somos Shasta, pero no estamos dividiendo lo que están recibiendo la ciudad, somos unas identidades diferentes.
No, sí,
Nomás
sí.
quiero clarificar eso para que todos se
Sure, can I state one thing? Does anybody need translation that's in here from Spanish to English?
He's actually translating
So
in
he's
English.
translating
so
to
if
English right now.
advice will help you.
So if you guys
Probably
can,
best if I get
please grab the microphone, because Gustavo talks really fast.
So what makes it everybody's gonna understand the whole conversation.
No, it's, yeah, you
He's
can,
translating.
but he's.
He's translating.
So I think Desiree might need this, all right?
No, I'm thinking.
Okay, no worries. Thank you. So I just wanted to make sure everyone had the equal opportunity to get questions. So, good stuff. Thank you, Gustavo.
Sí, nomás quería ampliar un poquito más, esperar que estén listos.
Yeah, no worries. I think Steven needs it just more, just so he can understand.
Just wanted to nomás para
Él quiere hacerlo más.
make sure. Entiendo todo, mi español es pollo, puedo hablar.
Our question is, do you have an idea of how you want the maps to be? Do you have, can you give us a recommendation of what you feel would be a balance for the districts?
Se me hace que son los comentarios iniciales, obviamente no tengo toda la información para decir así sería, pero por ejemplo, y nomás para contestar, clarificar, ¿verdad? Entiendo la diferencia entre el distrito y la ciudad, ¿verdad? A lo que me refiero es a los servicios que su distrito da y a cualquier mejora que el distrito vaya a hacer, ¿verdad? En la jurisdicción de ustedes, ¿no? Entiendo esa diferencia. Nomás me refiero a los recursos del distrito. Sí. La otra, a la pregunta que me hace usted es mi idea inicial, ¿verdad? Cuando hablamos de comunidades de intereses, cómo los que tenemos el mismo interés, la misma necesidad, nos juntamos para crear voz, ¿verdad? Es como yo lo entiendo. Entonces, si es eso, por ejemplo, las colonias, ¿verdad? Como digo, las juntas que hemos tenido comunitarias, nos han dicho que sienten que no han sido representados. Entonces, es una de las razones que apoyamos esta idea del distrito, porque puede crear voz para las colonias. Para mí, una de las áreas tal vez sería las colonias, pero lo malo es, si se juntan ellos, ¿cómo se balancea los otros votos? ¿Verdad? Mi pregunta, ¿cuáles son los pros de que se puedan unir y figurar cómo mejorar sus colonias? Pero la otra es, ¿cuáles son los cons, ¿verdad? De que al fin del día, si la mesa va a tener que los 5, cada voto tiene igual de poder, ¿cómo van a distribuir esos posibles fondos o los servicios que estén dando? Pero sí, una de las ideas iniciales mías, y a lo mejor el resto de la comunidad y ustedes que conocen sus comunidades tienen mucho mejor ideas, pero como entiendo yo, lo que es comunidades de intereses, como los que tienen esos mismos intereses, por ejemplo, la colonia mencionaba el señor de la raza o los beliefs, todo eso. Sé que la colonia está muy orgullosa de su historia, cómo se ha creado y todo eso, entonces, y supongo que por ejemplo, Cherokee Street y todo eso, cada quien son orgullosos de su propia cultura que han creado ahí. Entonces, para mí sería parte de, pero cómo se hiciera, por ejemplo, yo vivo a 3-4 minutos del centro de Bakersfield, pero vivo en el área que es condado, lo que llaman las islands, ¿verdad? Que es parte del condado. Unos raros mapas que corren por millas y yo estoy en otro lado. ¿Cómo crean unos mapas ustedes que sean más justos y representativos de su comunidad? Pero la idea inicial sería eso, ¿verdad? Mi primera idea sería las colonias, sería una de las áreas, pero no tengo información de toda la comunidad para poder decir. Potencialmente serán estas áreas, pero obviamente los residentes ustedes conocen más su comunidad.
Okay, so that's good feedback that you're giving us. I appreciate that. So that's why we're having this meeting today, so we'll be able together to give the best advice possible with what you just mentioned as well. So there's specific areas in chapter that we feel need to be aligned with. Yeah, go ahead.
Gentleman, frankly brings up a good point of one thing I probably forgot that would be helpful in giving testimony. I taught you all that how to find your community specifically. One other valuable piece of information as we talk about your neighborhoods is saying what the other neighborhoods that are next to you, what are good to be paired with, what's good not to be paired with. We are neighborhood X, and for all these reasons, we are a community of interest. And at the end of the day, we want to be kept whole, which is goal number 1. And the second goal is do you want to be paired with any other neighborhood? Pairs with neighborhood Y, but not Z. Why? I don't know. But that's also, so the gentleman was asking, how do you draw things fairly? So tell us about the community of interest that you're talking about. And I did forget, it's my fault, I should have mentioned this. The other helpful thing to know is what neighbors do you want to be put together in a district with? And why? Or what neighbors you do not want to be put in a district with? And why? We don't want to go on the other, don't pass street A, go, there for, they look at us funny, I don't know. But that is also another valuable thing to add when you come up here and give us the boundary you're talking about as a community, why, give all the reasons why it is a community, and then say, if we can we be with this neighborhood and that neighborhood, but not this neighborhood? So I think that also hopefully helps answer the gentleman's question.
That's a great.
Just, that's a great explanation. I think that was missing, and so does that help with helping to define what neighborhoods should be together and which ones should not be together?
Yeah, I think just to start the conversation, I know that it's complex and I think more information we gather, but I think those are the questions that come to my mind, how to, and I think he mentioned which neighbors to get with or not get with, because just an example, District 4 of the county, it was, I think, some part of that district is part of, I think, Seven Oaks, affluent area, and also Lamont and other areas. And I think sometimes when it comes to decisions, who that person, supervisor of county is going to hear, Lamont, which for most of the people cannot vote, or the Seven Oaks, where most of the people can vote. I think those are the things that help in those balance, to ensure that the neighborhoods are really represented by those board members that will be representing those districts.
So, lo que hoy, Gustavo, lo que necesita el señor Ochoa es que definimos cuáles de esas vecindades deben de estar juntas, que son similares, y cuáles deben de estar apartados, para que él pueda ir a hacer mapas y luego para la próxima junta vemos qué es lo que hizo y hacemos los ajustes. No, que estos dos no deben de coordinar. Aquí son muy ricos, aquí son muy pobres, no deben de estar juntos. So, lo que entiendo hoy es que debemos de dar específicamente cuáles son las áreas del pueblo que deben de estar juntos. Decirle las calles, las áreas, para que él pueda ir a sacar los tracks del censo y coordinar los mapas.
Al poder de representantes.
Sí, sí entiendo eso, como digo, se me hace que al menos yo no sé toda la información, pero sí es la idea. Y no es de, bueno, podemos decir ricos o pobres, pero podemos decir cuáles áreas, por eso mencioné cuáles áreas tienen más necesidad. Y yo no estoy en contra de los que ganan bien, porque algo han hecho para ganar bien, ¿verdad? No estoy mal con los que sí ganan bien, pero también debemos entender que hay áreas que tienen más necesidad, por lo que esperamos que gente vive en esas áreas, hay áreas que necesitan más atención. Ese era mi punto, cuando hablamos del voto, ¿verdad? Puedo tener o no dinero, pero si puedo votar, voto cuenta. Entonces, nomás tratar de balancear esos. Cuando se trata de decidir, ¿verdad?, cuál sería la manera del proceso para aplicar los distritos más justo para toda su comunidad al momento de tomar decisiones.
Muchas gracias. Thank you. Anybody else have any public comments or any feedback they'd like to share? Any suggestions? Did anyone want to start?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
The question is are we gonna draw tonight or not? We're not drawing.
we are not drawing tonight. No.
We're just giving.
Feedback. But yeah, I assume now this is people who kind of have their written testimony, they can come. I suggest they say, if they're talking about a specific neighborhood at least, say where, and then we're gonna pull it up on Google Maps so we can look up, I know what the streets you're talking about are, as you describe your communities of interest.
So at this time, if somebody wants to come up to the podium and give your recommendation on what colonies or what sections of the cities should be together, please take your time. You can come up one at a time and state your name, please, so we can follow the maps.
Yo tengo un comentario. Buenas noches, mi nombre es Refugio. Soy compañero de trabajo de Gustavo. Mi comentario tiene mucho que ver con lo que Gustavo comentó. Desafortunadamente, pues, una de las cosas que yo sugeriría es que extiendan su terreno, como decimos, porque pues en esas áreas que Gustavo estaba mencionando, pues no tienen ningún lugar donde hacer recreación los niños. Por esa razón nosotros estamos mencionando que se considere esa área como
¿Tiene una área específica de nombre o la calle que te gustaría ver como una locación más interesante?
Pues las áreas que estaba mencionando, Gustavo, como la
colonia.
la Cherokee y las otras dos que están. Sí, North Chapter. Porque pues desafortunadamente escuchamos de parques y recreaciones aquí en la ciudad, pero como esas comunidades están fuera de la ciudad, entonces los niños no tienen cómo venir a hacer el deporte acá. Los papás llegan tarde, noche de trabajar. Entonces, si en el futuro, como dicen, la suerte cambia, que parques y recreaciones pudiera establecer, no parque grande, digamos, pero un parquecillo donde ellos puedan hacer deporte en su área. ¿Sabes? Solo extender su área.
Señor, ¿tienes unos calles que puedes describir? ¿Qué es el colonia?
Digamos, la
En tu
Burbank
opinión.
Avenue.
Dile a esto, el señor puede zoom in.
Just so you know where the rink is. Keep going, Jeff.
Y la
Señor, right here.
Otra idea sería si hicieran un complejo deportivo en medio de esas comunidades para que todas ellas vinieran ahí, no hasta acá, hasta la ciudad.
¿Qué es el nombre de este?
That's the Mexican colony.
Ya Mexican Colony.
And then, to Cherokee Strip. Now, they also mentioned Cherokee Strip here, which is on beach from Burbank to San Diego Street.
Cherokee Strip is
Is Highway 43. It's also known as Beach Avenue, from Burbank to San Diego Street.
That's
Are you familiar with the red wagon? That's it.
yeah, that's big.
That's marker.
And then Smith's Corner is the corner of Orange Avenue and South Shafter Avenue. And there's a lot of streets in there, like Davis, no, Tambien. Sure. ¿Qué más?
Pues yo conozco todas las áreas que conozco.
Mencionaron unas áreas como niño para Huasco, ¿sí saben? Como las
Ahora,
áreas-
no chapter. Pero pues, dicen que en unos años va a haber un parque grande ahí. Sí, ya el otro día nos dieron un mapa del proyecto y se mira cómo quedan los Raiders y los Lions van a venir a hacer su pretemporada. Sí, entonces se me hace que si se busca un lugar central para estas comunidades y se hace un parque con cancha para diferentes deportes, sería muy bueno para ellos, que no tienen que venir acá.
Señor, en tu opinión, estos tres lugares, Mexican Colony, Cherokee Strip y Smith Corner,
Y North Shafter.
And South
and
Shafter.
North Shafter.
And then South Shafter.
Pero no chapter sería muy aparte porque
Sí,
está.
Sí, pero estos tres que están en South
Sí, ahí en
Shafter,
el
en el
sur.
sur, en tu opinión, necesita ser juntos.
Sí.
Ok.
Ya, si hacen un centro, más o menos en medio de esas tres comunidades, que les quede cerca a cualquiera de los tres, se les facilitaría.
¿Y qué es el parte de North Shafter? En el norte, ¿qué estabas describiendo? ¿Cuál lugares?
No recuerdo el nombre.
City of Chapter,
Yeah,
Highway 43 in Fresno.
Okay,
It's another small.
yeah,
Which
Gary's,
could possibly be part of their district.
that's north.
Yeah.
Gary's
North
gonna
of- it's
print
north of
out.
that one.
pero ahí ya luego va a haber el parque grande.
No, just go back to Google Maps.
Richmond School District.
Gary's gonna show you guys the Richmond School district map right now, so you guys can have an idea how the city is already separated out our schools. So that can give us also some guidance of where the population is actually.
The one is chapter.
RSD right here.
We're not school.
It's the county right there.
We're not gonna have a big.
No, this is the school board members. That shows the school members, school board.
Nos referimos a la
Go to district, 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 go to.
With the area maps. Board. Area maps. Trustee area maps.
That's.
Yeah, nos referimos al vecindario que está atrás de la Apple Park.
So that's similar what we're looking to do with mindset.
Trustee. Alright, so mira, lo que estamos en es. Lo que estamos encomendados a hacer hoy, esta noche, es dar las áreas del pueblo donde pensamos que la necesidad es similar. ¿Okay? Este es un ejemplo de lo que hizo el distrito Richmond hace unos 10 años. Tienen 5 distritos, ¿ok? Uno está en el centro del pueblo, otro está aquí en el norte, otro en el sur, que tiene la colonia, todo lo nuevo de Gossamer Grove, aquí de Nano Park, la secundaria, todo lo que está en esa área. Okay, so,
Sí, el vecindario está antes de la Fresno.
Oh, yeah.
Con la venable, es la venable.
La Venable y la Fresno.
ese
Ya
se
ese
llama
vecindario que
North
está
Shore.
llamado del 43.
So go ahead and go back here. Pull up Venable, Bach Lane, Prince Lane, Gibson Lane.
Sí, esa es.
So what's going on?
Ahí sí no hay ni más.
No hay nada. No hay nada.
So, okay, so that's what she's speaking right there. So Myrick's corner is on the north side of Fresno, and right now she's speaking about the south side of Fresno.
It's like,
Yeah.
But all of that area, North Shafter, North Park, is similar, todo similar.
Sí,
es considerado el mismo.
That's where it goes.
sí, es de lo que
Ahí
estamos hablando.
donde está apuntando el muchacho, donde dice cubo, ahí van a hacer un parque. La ciudad va a hacer un parque. So todo eso debe de estar en un distrito.
Sí, porque ahí no hay ni banquetas, ni drenaje, ni nada.
Ahí en ese vecindario.
Nada.
Ok, ese era mi comentario.
Muchas gracias. ¿Alguien más gustaría ayudarnos para agarrar más ideas?
Oye, ese lo estamos viendo.
Mande.
Can I ask what his comment was? So what was his comment? Can I ask what his comment was?
It's a recommendation.
So can I get an explanation of what his recommendation was?
Yeah, he was saying that nobody like it's a six corners and it's a common.
Okay. So to versus bills to have that as a district. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I just want to make sure he was talking about the North Chapter Community of Interest. Does he have a preference of where North Chapter should go with or not with? Señor? Okay. Nomás una pregunta, porque estabas diciendo, describiendo el North Chapter. ¿Tienes opinión donde North Chapter va? ¿Va con, or no va? Can you zoom out a little bit?
¿Cuáles otros vecindarios sería bueno para combinar con
Sí.
este del norte de Charlotte?
Sí, tiene,
O
sí,
no
sí
se
hay
puede.
posible.
No, me parece que no tengo. Pero lo que yo escuché es que ahí también se va a hacer un vecindario nuevo, grande. Entonces, van a llegar familias ahí y van a crecer la cantidad de niños habitantes. Pero, pues, como usted dice en el plan de que van a hacer un parque grande, ya va a solucionar eso también.
Sí, pero puedo comentar algo. Lo que se está enfocando el señor es en que ustedes den su opinión en sus comunidades para que tengan un representante, no para fondos o para parques o nada de eso. Ellos quieren saber cómo dividir la ciudad en 5 partes iguales para que ustedes tengan una voz. Esas comunidades tengan una voz con un representante. Y ya en el futuro tal vez pues ya se puede hablar de cómo ese representante puede recaudar fondos o influir para un barco o algo así.
Sí, pues ya como ustedes están viendo y nosotros escuchando, yo creo que más adelante vamos a mirar la posibilidad de cómo podemos tener un representante ahí en el North Chapter.
¿Alguien más tiene otra pregunta o otra recomendación? No tengan vergüenza, aquí estamos todos en confianza para ayudar.
Buenas tardes, soy la señora María Martínez.
Buenas tardes.
Lo que yo veo aquí es que siempre somos los mismos que venimos y nosotros no representamos a toda la ciudad de Shafter. Entonces lo que se necesita es motivar a la gente que venga de esas partes a que venga aquí a ser representante de esa parte de la ciudad de Shafter. Porque pues yo puedo hablar de donde yo vivo, ¿verdad? Y los que viven en la colonia, ellos hablan de su sección, pero de las otras secciones que nosotros conocemos, nos damos cuenta, nosotros no podemos hablar porque no vivimos ahí. O sea, lo vemos, pero no podemos ser representantes de esa sección porque no estamos viviendo en ese lugar. Entonces, ¿de qué manera podemos hacer para que esa gente venga y dé su opinión y diga, ¿verdad? Porque yo a la pasada puedo decir, aquí hace falta esto. Pero si la gente dice, no, yo estoy en esto así. Entonces, ¿cómo podemos hacer? Es lo que yo veo, es mi opinión. Y esto se trata solo de los niños, porque a mí me interesan los adultos mayores siempre. Ahorita solo los niños.
Es para todos.
Sí, porque yo de mi parte quisiera un senior center en el norte, en el sur, en el oeste, en todos lados, ¿verdad? Porque hay muchos adultos mayores que vienen de muy lejos, que no tienen quien los traiga, no tienen quien los lleve, y tal vez sería una solución tener un centro, por lo menos otro centro más cerca de ellos, ¿verdad? En un futuro yo pienso, no estoy pidiéndolo para mañana. Lo que yo veo. Gracias, muy amable.
Muchas gracias. No, dígale que lo queremos para ayer.
No tiene nada de recomendación de tu propio vecindario en términos de qué debería ser el distrito alrededor de donde usted conoce. Donde yo vivo, yo sugiero que esa calle de Los Ángeles y las que están hacia atrás sería como una sección. No me sé las calles, sí, la verdad no las recuerdo. ¿Dónde está Los Ángeles? O sea, que sea de Los Ángeles Avenue hacia atrás. Son
Mr. Chairman,
Ajá.
si me permite un segundo.
Sí.
Stephen, can you explain the amount of population that's going to be in each of the areas so they can see the size of the districts?
Sure. Do you mind going back to my presentation slide number 11? Esta mapa aquí, los colores son de población. Y, y might I make it bigger or just full screen? Slideshow. Oh, second button, right?
To the left.
So todos los 5 distritos van a ser 4,000 people. 4,000. So, y estos colores son nomás de población. So, estos más azul son,
Más gente.
sí, 250 to 600. So, aquí se está hablando de Los Ángeles, aquí es Los Ángeles y Shafter, aquí.
Sí.
So, esto, mucha población, un poco más, pero aquí, you know, so this is where the districts are going to go. I mean, where the people are, you have to divide this up into 4,000 people each, times 5 districts. So just letting you know how dense everything is. Right here, a little less dense here, very dense around Laredo. And
Muchos vecinos.
Sí, entonces Marca dices West Los Angeles y atrás hasta dónde, o
Sí.
atrás de cuál dirección. Porque no sé cuál es atrás. Como que vas hacia la colonia mexicana. O hacia la otra.
aquí es Riverside, East Los Angeles y Shafter.
Esas son las reglas, por eso.
Apunta el vecino que no le cae bien para quitarlo.
Sácalo de su distrito. Que esté Vallarta ahí enfrente de su casa.
Ahí,
No, en este, yo digo, West Los Ángeles.
Sí.
ahí es el Parque Rodríguez.
Sí, sería más bien Esta.
No, es el Parque Nuevo, está abajo.
Oh, entonces es aquí, es esta. Sí, así todas estas, aquí, en esta.
So, yes, sí, ¿tienes el nombre de este neighborhood?
No, pero se los consigo.
Pues el West
Todas
Side.
estas sí, toma,
West Side.
Elizabeth.
Se llama West Side.
West Side.
West Side.
West Side.
Muy bien. Puede pasar, gracias.
Gustavo, otra vez. Nomás quería hacer un par de comentarios, ¿verdad? Y ya, además que lo platicaron, me dan un poquito, ¿verdad? Porque cuando estamos hablando, ¿verdad? De las áreas de necesidad, yo creo que todos, al menos el grupo con los que venimos, tenemos una idea, ¿verdad? De qué es el punto final. No estamos hablando del punto final, ¿verdad? Ir ahí o dar servicio, lo que sea, ¿verdad? Entendemos que eso va a pasar por medio de los representantes de cada una de las áreas, ¿verdad? Es parte de, pero también sí mi pregunta era, ¿verdad? ¿Cómo se puede equilibrar? Por ejemplo, estamos hablando de las colonias o de acá del North Chapter, pero ¿cómo se va cuál sería la mejor manera? La pregunta sería para él, ¿cuál sería la mejor manera de completar ese distrito? Porque tal vez las 4 colonias allá completen los 4,000 tal vez, ¿verdad? Pero si en North Chapter tal vez no, la área más necesitada en infraestructura. Entonces, ¿cuál sería la mejor manera de que esa área fuera dividida, donde fuera más o menos todavía que la área de más necesidad tuviera voz, ¿verdad? En esa parte? Esa era mi pregunta, obviamente, para el experto, ¿cuáles son como es en inglés, las best practice para incluir esas áreas?
Más rápido para el
So his question was, in your recommendation, what would be the best way to balance out the communities based off, let's say, one community is already, maybe a high population than another? How would you recommend to even that out?
And particularly talking about North Shafter, the other of these communities that are of interest are easy to find. But North Shafter is kind of off by itself, so he's kind of worried about, you know, what is the best way to get fair representation for those people? And so.
Mis preguntas a ti, si estás hablando de North Shafter, ¿dónde quieres North Shafter? ¿Con quién? Mira, aquí es el mapa. Si en tu perfecto mundo, ¿quieres North Shafter con South Shafter? ¿Quieres North Shafter aquí con hasta Tulare Avenue?
¿Pueden ser de una esquina y otra de la comunidad separados?
No separados, pero en un otro lado, sí, pero no.
So,
La pregunta es, ¿con quién le gustaría que estuvieran combinados para que tuvieran la mejor oportunidad de los recursos que están buscando?
Bueno, como miro yo, si no estuviéramos hablando de distancias, yo creo que las colonias junto con North Shafter tal vez son necesidades parecidas, pero las colonias están en un lado de la comunidad y North Shafter está en otro lado. Por eso mi pregunta es, ¿pueden ser parte del distrito aunque no estén territorialmente conectadas?
Se puede ver.
Se puede ver.
Se puede ver. Se puede ver.
O yo puedo investigar si if the board directs me to investigate that, I can look.
Porque sí, cuando hablamos de comunidades de interés, yo creo que esas son más o menos representativas unas con otras, ¿verdad? Entonces, pero como digo, yo soy experto en esto, ¿no? O sea, por eso la pregunta de cuál se combinaría, si es una opción para considerar, yo creo que a lo mejor sería bueno.
Puede ser un mapa, un ejemplo, y luego sigamos con otros ejemplos. Eso puede ser un...
Yo creo que sería bueno explorar esa opción.
Y no tengan miedo de decir lo que te van a preguntar, porque duramos como media hora para agarrar esa.
La idea.
Estamos aquí para tener esa información de ustedes, porque nosotros nos estamos guiando por lo que ustedes están buscando, para representar lo mejor que se puede.
Y las personas que están hablando de North Shafter, ¿qué es North Shafter? Así, en tu opinión. ¿A cuál calle? No más de Fresno, no más de Tulare. Esas cosas.
Ella ha vivido en ese vecindario, entonces...
Pero, before we go to a different person giving a testimony, y tu opinión, ¿por qué qué son los commonalities? What do they have in common? North Shafter y todas las colonias, todos los que están abajo en el sur.
Yo creo un par de similitudes es lo que hablaba doña Maru, que a veces los servicios para las colonias o para North Shafter tal vez no estén tan accesibles a los servicios que el distrito da. Entonces, esa es una, ¿verdad? Que tal vez estén retirados de los centros donde se dan los servicios. La otra es en cuestión de infraestructura, de seguridad, mencionaban, algunos no tienen todavía drenaje o banquetas o luz pública, todo eso. Entonces, infraestructura, creo que también hay esa necesidad común, ¿verdad? En las áreas, por eso mencionaba yo que son similares.
También quiere ver nivel de educación, nivel de finanzas.
Sí, parte de eso también. Pero no sé si está bien, doña Mimi creo que vivió en parte de North Shafter, entonces puede hablar de las calles específicas porque
Sí. Yo viví en la Venable, la Álamo, la Meyer.
Vamos a poner el mapa de aquí.
Si me puede dar su nombre, por favor.
Sí, yo me llamo Minerva Hernández
Claro.
y he vivido aquí toda mi vida en Shafter.
Les voy a ayudar un poquito. Empezando en la Tulare,
Ajá.
y luego la Barclay, y luego la Venable,
La Popla.
La Clase,
Jackson,
Gibson, Prince Lane,
sí,
hasta La Fresno.
hasta la Fresno.
Y luego enseguida,
La Meyer,
Mayor Lane,
ya estoy ahí.
Park Lane,
Park Lane,
Mayor,
Álamo,
Alamo. Esas. Muy bien. Es lo que él necesita específicamente, gracias.
sí, ¿dónde más?
Eso.
Wait, wait, go back. I need to write that down.
Okay, we have them in the notes. I'll give you the names again, starting on Taveri Avenue from Highway 43, Broad Lane, BOTH, Venable, and with Venable, there's Gibson and Prince Lane, Gibson Lane, Prince Lane. Above that is Sunny Lane. And then above that is, did we put Classen? Classen?
And
K-L-A-S-S-E-N.
And I think
All these
Sunny
things.
Drive, English Lane.
Okay, all these, okay, I thought you were giving me down.
Yes.
Then once you hit, Fresno Avenue, right, drop it, you know. Okay, you have all of those small lanes, you have Mayor, you have Park Lane, you have Alamo. And then the Epis Camp.
Scroll out.
Campo de Epis. El Campo de Epis.
Scroll out a little bit.
La cabalga, perdón,
Sí.
la cabalga todo eso de la popla que se agarra todo ese bloque que sale la Inés de ahí, o sea, la 43, y de ahí está todo bien.
Venus Lane.
Is it
Por
this
el
triangle?
Venus está
Ya,
ahí.
todo sigue para
So is it
allá.
basically this triangle of Highway 43, down Poplar, down Tulare?
Yeah.
Okay.
Y la corona para allá.
Even scroll.
Just
Una
put it out.
de la 43.
Ese es mi distrito, nomás para que sepan. Okay.
Nothing to add.
Así que están en muy buenas manos.
Okay, so road.
All right. Sorry. Ok, ¿alguien más tiene alguna pregunta? ¿Otra sugerencia? Ok, muy bien. So they have up to tomorrow, and then I'll offer other suggestions to the program. So, también tienen, como si llegan a las clases y les olvida algo, pueden poner información en el correo electrónico y mandar más sugerencias. Tienen hasta mañana para hacer algo. Pueden platicar con familiares, amistades de la comunidad, también agarrar esta información de ellos para que les den la oportunidad de mandar sugerencias.
Yeah.
Yeah, out road.
So I'm gonna open that up to the board so we can give recommendations. Sure, Director, Rodriguez.
It's a ball, it's a ball.
Okay, so we're ready. Just. Okay, sorry. So we have for one of the maps, besides the one that is gonna be drawn from the comments from the public, so map sample B, let's call this one sample B. What I would propose then at this point is, let's go like, let's use the parks as a focal point. And then for argument's sake, then we can take a look at the census tracts after you create them. So Rodriguez Park is on the west side, is on Los Angeles Avenue and South Wall and South, yeah, so Rodriguez Park. So from Rodriguez Park up to Yarrow Highway and South Shafter Avenue. And that would go all the way back to,
Scroll up.
whatever, however far it needed to go south. And that would encompass also part of the Colonias, this corner, Thomas Lake, Riverside. So I would say, from Shafter Avenue and Yarrow Highway down towards Los Angeles, and probably even further down if you need to. Cat and Horn, Riverside, Orange, Burbank. Right? So, and then say, zoom out so we can see the whole town. Okay, so I would recommend that. Okay, the other part is where we were talking about earlier, which is gonna be on Fresno Avenue. You go up to North Park and North Shafter. There's gonna be another park on the north side of Yarrow Highway. So I would say Yarrow Highway, all the way up to Myrick's Lane, and probably even beyond, because the district goes even
Scroll out,
beyond
you
that.
can see the major streets.
Yeah, all the way to Dresser. So from Lerdo Highway to Dresser, on the west side of Highway 43.
I'm sorry, I just want to make sure I can follow along, Director. Can you zoom into Laredo Highway, please? What's the intersection start?
So right here, like from McDonald's, all the way up to Dresser. But on this side, on the west side of 43.
So twice, Laredo, all the way.
Lerdo?
Laredo, sorry.
It's okay.
See, this is why you guys have to define yourselves.
¿Puedo robarte un segundo? ¿Sí?
Dos.
Jack.
Okay.
Mira, se me hace que otro punto es para considerar es donde se concentra nuestra comunidad, siempre hay mucha más necesidad de parques, porque hay muchos más niños, por la razón de que en donde se concentra nuestra raza, siempre hay a veces hasta 2 o 3 familias en una vivienda, por consecuencia hay muchos más niños. Entonces, se me hace que ya hay un parque, a lo mejor puede de considerar en un futuro hacer otro, por la razón de que, pues, hay veces que los niños no caben, no hay suficiente espacio para hacer las cascaritas, como decimos.
Ya que llegue el dinero de industria, vamos a tener amplio para hacer parques. Okay, so what I'm proposing is the south side of Lerdo Highway for Rodriguez Park in that area, on the south side of Lerdo, and then the north side of Lerdo, all on the east side of Highway 43. Okay? Now, there's another park that's called Kirschman Park now. It used to be called Hudson Park. That gives pretty much like the east side of Shafter Avenue. Can you show the park yet? Okay. So on the south side of Lerdo, East Lerdo Highway, on the east side of Shafter Avenue, there's a big dense population there. I don't know if it's enough for 4,000. So you might have to take the downtown center also.
So that's Laredo and 43.
So I would probably say take the downtown triangle also from McDonald's, let's do some free advertisement here. from Snow Fund up to Apple Market, to S&J Quick Stop, all the way back down to the Arco, to the Taco, Arco, Chevron, Taco Bell.
This doesn't help me.
Point it out. When I'm talking to you, point it out.
I'm saying this right here, central, all the way up to about right here,
To our,
to here, right? Gary,
It's Shafter Avenue and 46, that's, and 43, that's where Quick Stop is. Right,
and then,
that's the downtown area, and then bring that all the way down. Bring it all the way down on the east side of Shafter Avenue, all the way down to Los Angeles and beyond. Yeah,
okay. Got
all of that, yeah,
yeah, because they're building houses over here too now.
right, yeah, you're right. There. And then crossing the tracks, there's Manor Park.
That's one district, though. That's one neighborhood you're talking about, that triangle. But, this is, you're describing this triangle, LA to Shaft, up 43 to Shafter to LA.
Yeah.
Is that one district you're hoping, or one region?
He's saying that.
Yeah, that's an area, that's an
A area,
area.
okay.
What I would eventually like to really see, if the numbers work out, would be 4 districts on the west side of the tracks and 1 district on the right side, including Los Angeles Grove. But I don't know what the population is gonna look like once you pull up the census. So what I'm proposing now is 3 on the east, on the west side, and 2 on the east side. And that'll encompass Gossamer Grove, Utopia, and Manor Park, show Manor Park.
What is Gossamer Grove and Utopia?
Gossamer Grove is that new section that is out on 7th Standard and. I don't know this.
That's how it is.
Is it Callaway that comes on this side of 7th Standard?
Can you leave it?
Yeah, and you see my map.
Yeah.
Too far. Let's your right, just.
Right. There you go. Good. Yeah.
Okay.
You know?
Keep going to your right.
Oh.
Okay, so right now, there's not a lot of population, but they're building houses like crazy. And that population is expected to double and triple in size. That population is supposed to be greater than our population here in Chapel. So eventually, if we don't go to districts, we're not gonna have any seats over here in Chapter. That area will take up all of the seats in an at-large district.
Gary, and you, the district represent that area out there?
Yes, so we're from Cobble Creek Drive north. So if you look on the district, we're a half a mile, sorry. So with that, we're a half a mile north of 7th Standard, half. And then from Cobble Creek Drive, east to west, north of that is in our district. So we're getting taxpaying money out from that one, from there,
So on the east side of Highway 43, where the railroad tracks, there's probably enough population for at least 2 districts there. Now, I don't know if you can use maybe Tulare Avenue. I don't know if you can use Tulare Avenue, Shafter High School, Tulare Avenue, maybe up north for one, and then below that, including Utopia for the 2nd district. I don't know.
Yes.
That's what he calls it.
Can you please zoom out back to see all of the central core of Shafter? I know we're at 43. So, all right, I'm keeping it, I have this in my head, that standard area, 7th Standard. So you, Commissioner, Director Rodriguez, I want to make sure I understand. Your goal would be 1 district, depending on the population. 1 district could be east of the tracks, that's your goal. And if it's too much population, your division would be one district on the track, where would the spillover crossover of a
It
potential
would go,
second
it
district?
would go into the Hudson Park, Kershman Park area, the one that I described, that had the
Got
triangle.
it, that triangle of Laredo, 43rd, and Chapman, and LA's.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. All right, you want that to be with the east side, if I have to cross over.
I don't know if you can make 4 districts on the west side and 1 on the east side of the railroad tracks. I don't know if you can do that. But if you can, I would say, at least take a look at it.
Yes.
So we could have 3 maps if we need to have 3 maps. 2 maps.
Yes, sir.
What was the other one? You said, so that's the other one.
So if you need to make 2 maps on this side of the tracks, I would say
West side.
use Nano, right?
Nano runs north to south.
Nano's right here.
That's Tulare Avenue.
No, Tulare. Yeah, that's, I would say. And I don't think there's no on that side. Central. From the Central Avenue,
Can you zoom into?
Central
the area
Avenue
that's
up
east?
north. And then Central Avenue and Tulare south.
Central Avenue is right there by Nano Park. So that runs down center of town.
Yeah.
So you're saying from Central Avenue
North.
north?
Or that whole triangle could go north. And then on Nano to the right, that would go to the south. Yeah, because they're kind of similar neighborhoods, there are a lot of apartments there.
So you're saying, I would say Tulare, so from all right here or from right here?
No, don't split it, yeah, don't split it. Put that whole triangle in the north.
Tulare.
With that whole
Well,
triangle?
take two, that was Tulare.
Tulare runs this way.
Tulare.
The downtown triangle on the right side, yeah,
What's that street, the cursor's on it?
that triangle
Nano.
and all up north,
Thank you.
So this,
Now
and all that north.
to,
including this too? So
Yeah,
and
Whatever's on-
and it's
whatever's on
it's Fort Highway 43 completes the triangle.
whatever's on the right side of 43 or the east side of 43, and then that down, that triangle. And then from all of the residents there, and then out to Gossamer Grove, I don't know if that's enough for.
So that way?
Yeah,
that would,
I have a question about the northern part of the jurisdiction. So the community was talking about north chapter right now.
Yeah.
Just I guess it's within the city boundary or just outside the city boundaries, but should that part of north, should that part of the recreation district be with the other side of the tracks or not?
and I would say no, because of the comments that were made earlier, that is an area of similarity, non-similar to the other side of the tracks. They're non-similar areas.
So, okay, so just so I understand you, Director. Essentially, just to add, then, imagine your jurisdiction is an elongated clock. The hand is Highway 43, right? So starting at the northern part, so going east, that's basically the circle I should be starting with in creating 5 districts. Is that fair?
I see where you're going with it. I agree.
Okay, is that fair by your goal, your
Yes.
direction?
Yeah.
Okay, for a plan.
Good, I like it.
And then do you have a preference if the northern chapter community that was described by these members should be with the southern colonials region? Do you have a preference or for this track?
I would say make that map separate than what I'm describing here.
If it can be done within what you're describing, do you have a preference?
If you can incorporate it, that would be fine. But in between, there's still some very high-end housing on Pinecone Avenue Street. All of that area would not coincide with the Colonia or wouldn't coincide. $400,000, $500,000 homes. Their estates. Yeah, so if you can wrap North Shafter and North Park into South Shafter, that would be fine. But if you keep them separate, then there's more opportunity for more representations for those disadvantaged communities. You'll have an opportunity in the north, you'll have another opportunity in the south to have two representatives as opposed to just one. If that makes any sense.
I understand, I'm just making, I wanna make sure I understand your direction, sir.
¿Sí se entendió? Sí. So for the sake of argument, I would make two separate maps. Make the map that the community described, and then make the map that I'm proposing, and I don't know if there's gonna be any other propositions.
I just want to clarify because what they are describing is like one portion of a map. They did not describe about the middle at all, so.
Right.
So their elements could be put into different drafts as, depending on your directions.
And then once we take a look at that, then there might be other additions to that map that would make sense.
So I want to make sure, Director, finally, we described the rough architecture. You thought one section, one district potentially should be focused on Rodriguez Park, going down Shafter Avenue to Lerdo, and then to Los Angeles, or maybe as far as Los Angeles as possible. There's another triangle around Hudson Park. Hudson Park was Lerdo. I'm gonna get it wrong. Sorry, I'll get it right hopefully by the end of this process. Lerdo. I'll get it right by the end of this process. Lerdo to 43 to Shafter to LA. That was a Hudson Park region. You felt that was a kind of a district goal. And then this third goal of trying to use the railroad track / the 43 as divided for the jurisdiction. Is that, do I have that right, sir?
I'd have to see what you're.
Me too.
But you guys can get together with the notes. I know that she's taking notes here. That is.
That's the very best way.
And then.
Now we're getting into the sausage
Now-
making of this process.
Let me have a follow-up question for the next meeting. Are you gonna bring your computer, and once we look at the maps, are you gonna be able to make adjustments here? Or do you have to take that back and then bring another?
I will work it out with Philip.
And we have a working session here on the 2 or 3 maps.
I will work it out with Philip to make sure we can obviously what we can technically do. But yes, I would imagine at the next meeting, after hearing all the reactions from the public and the reactions from the board, you know, we can do small tweaks, but basically we gotta get to, yes, we can do some tweaking, live tweaking. To the different the draft or drafts.
Otherwise we'll make suggestions and wait another week or
Yeah,
two
which we
to
cannot.
come back and
Yeah.
argue the same points, or make more adjustments.
Are we able to have, a quick question for you, are we able to have, some type of like on the spot correction, through your system, or is there something that we can make friends and maybe, highlight, just so they feel comfortable, because I'm old school, I would love to see a map and paper map and draw some lines, that's just how I work. I'm sure they would maybe feel comfortable like that too, would that be an option once you have?
I would work with Philip on materials.
Okay.
I can tell you from my standpoint, for certain, I would probably be coming with the actual GIS program, and we could work on edits, either in a new map or pick a draft, if there's a draft that actually is serviceable and you feel you better, so there's tweaks.
Okay.
You know, I mean, it's about also hearing the comments, I would imagine, and what is good, what's bad, we have to throw them all out, start from scratch. Live line drawing sessions, just to give you the heads up, you know, can be long.
Yeah.
So we should, you know, hope that, and in terms of materials for the public meeting, when I give Philip the drafts for posting online, you know, there'll be PDFs and details of the various districts of the various drafts. So it should hopefully give the public, you and the public, some details of any drafts that were submitted for comment, so to give as much feedback as possible.
Does anybody have any more comments?
Are there any other directions by the we're comfortable with?
Comments, we were talking about, I think, what this, Gary mentioned, I think it may be better to, have a draft, of one district, including Las Colonias, and one including, North Chapter. I think that's better than just putting all of them together, and having just one boss. I think if there are at least two balls that are similar interests, even if they're divided. So I think if you develop two maps, I think, we would prefer to see those two districts, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So do we need a motion for direction? Good job, Jesse.
Thank you.
Yes, yeah, good job. Okay, I'm gonna make a motion that we go ahead and approve the creation of the first draft maps that were discussed by the public today and by the board, or recommended from the public and recommended from the board with all of the notes intact.
So, this is a vote to. So, Director Rodriguez,
Aye.
Director Chavez.
Aye.
Chair Salinas.
Aye. Yay. All right, great job, thank you, everybody.
For anyone here in the room, if you have a friends, family in the area, want to give additional information, you can still submit your testimony by writing to the jurisdiction through tomorrow. And then I will probably be consulting with Philip on the 11th.
Thank you for your time. Thank you. All right, we're gonna move on to old business item C, board vacancy appointment. Mr. Fernandez,
Yes, so, all right, so item B is, presentation. You're okay, presentation and interviews of applications for the vacant board seat position. So we have, I believe, 3 candidates. The first one is Isaiah Zacharias. You guys don't know who he is, Isaiah Zacharias. The second one was Christina Camacho, and the third one was Fernando, Marquez.
Is he,
is he here?
Okay, so he's not here, so I don't know how you guys want to go about that, but, okay. These two had their application in before the 4th. Fernando turned his in after the 4th, so it all depends on how you guys want to go about that in regards to that, but they needed to be present to be here. So for us to interview and go through that. So what our legal advice is pretty much is that we have to conduct those interviews in a public setting. The only thing that we're able to do, just to advise the board, is we're able to ask one of the candidates or the 2 candidates to step outside as we conduct the interview, and then we switch. After that, we need to be able to appoint, so that we would carry on to item C with that, but we need to be able to appoint before the deadline, which is, I believe, January 11th. So we gotta have that done for the 12th or the 11th, okay? And at that time, we'll do those. We'll point them, and we'll go from there, okay? So I don't know who you guys want to start with. It's up to you.
Or we'll just, since they're both here, we have Isaiah and Christina, we'll go ahead.
Yes, so we can start off with whoever turns in first.
Yeah, let's go with,
Or vice versa. However you guys want to go about
yeah,
it.
let's go ahead and.
Okay. So we're gonna ask Christina to step outside, okay, correct?
Yeah, we'll have
If
to
you
step out.
can,
Step next to
Steve,
Regina.
Steve, Yeah, I'll direct you over here, Christina, so that way you can at least not be out in the cold, and you can be in the gym chilling.
Yes, please. Okay. So welcome. Thank you for applying for this. Here.
Yeah.
Action.
Turn it over. Like physics courses.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, when you talk, you can stand more back.
All right. That sound better?
Yes.
All right, Isaiah, thank you for applying for the positions here as a director. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Isaiah Zacharias. I've grown up here my whole life. Participated in the rec since I can, about 4 years old. Worked for the rec for about 5 years. Worked my way up from referee all the way to supervisor to helping out with program coordinators, stuff like that. I do spend a lot of my time coaching youth sports. I coach travel softball all year round. I've been doing that since I was 16. I'm now 25. Been a head coach since I was 18. Coached 4 years at Chapter High baseball. Coached 1 year at BCHS softball. Just been around sports and kids my whole life, and just want to do what's best for the community, help all the kids out.
Can you tell me what chapter rec is to you?
Chapter rec means a lot to me. One of the biggest things is friendship. I think it brings the community together. This past weekend, I spent the bachelor trip with the guy I met since I was 7 years old, playing baseball at the recreation. It's just, like I said, community, bringing kids together and just keeping them busy, keeping their minds right. The interaction with the coaches, steering them in good directions, and whatnot. Again, it's like this overall community and friendship.
What's your schedule like for evenings on Tuesdays, Thursdays?
Yeah, I'm usually off by 3, 4 o'clock the latest. So I start early, I get off early, so I should be able to attend just about anything. Yeah.
And you're okay with committee meetings like during the day, like when they're scheduled based off?
Yeah. My job's pretty flexible. I mean, take a day off if I need to, morning, afternoon off if I need to. As long as I get about a week or so.
Do you have any experience on any previous boards or any previous committees or anything that can help you with any accounting or personnel?
With our travel ball teams, yeah, we had a small board now, so I'm always a member of them since I was 18. So been doing that for the last.
I know you're good at math, but do you have any accounting background or anything?
What was that, accounting?
Accounting background?
No, just like you said, I'm just good at math. I do it all day for work, so.
What do you envision the district in 2, 5, 10 years? What do you see the district going?
This is a place for to help the programs, like our high school programs, development. The kids knowing the rules, learning the rules, not just playing, learning on a deeper level. Doing programs like that to help them not just understand the physical part of it, but also the mental part of it.
How long have you been interested in being a director?
Probably since the day I started at the Reds. We feel like we used to joke around about me being on the board when I was 15. So, yeah, as long as probably about 15, honestly.
What question do you have?
Nothing much. Just like I said, I'm just here. Just want to help out in any way I can. Whatever you guys need, whatever I can do to help.
Yeah, like I said, I'll be calling you for baseball and softball.
Like I said, I hope so.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, at this time, yeah, I'll have you step on a little bit of the other changes.
Ya no más queda.
Budweiser hot seat.
All right.
Christina, welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've gone to school here all my life, so I did graduate from Shafter High in 2010. I graduated from CSUB with a business administration degree with a concentration in marketing. My husband also is from here. He also graduated from Shafter High, also went to CSUB. He's an accountant here in town. We live here. We live at South Shafter Avenue. I worked mainly with nonprofit organizations for most of my career. I worked with Community Action Partnership of Kern in the Community Development Department. I also worked at Naleo Educational Fund. Their main focus was the Latino community and making sure that they registered vote, and also to get out the count during the census.
Is that the national elected officials?
Yes, with Arturo, the CEO. So they are based in LA. I worked here remotely. My job with Nobel was to ensure that to get out the count, specifically focusing on the Latino community in Kern, Tulare, Kings, and Fresno County. So I worked with some of those committees to ensure that they had marketing materials. They had the latest of the census and all of that information. So we worked, like Naleo is a nationwide, but their main focus was in California. They had offices in New York, Florida, and different regions, and Missouri, Colorado, and all that.
Christina, it sounds like you have a very busy schedule, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel comfortable with adding another task to what you already have?
So those are just the previous jobs that I had. I actually left my full-time job when I worked with Kern Community Foundation. My husband and I started a business, and so that we are very much dedicated to our business. My husband, as I mentioned, he's an accountant. So he does bookkeeping and taxes. He got really busy, and I ended up jumping on board. So I have a lot of flexibility in my schedule.
You have any kids in our program?
I don't have children.
Okay, you said, I was reading that you have a niece.
Oh, I do have a niece, yes. My niece Aubrey, she's very involved in softball. So for many years, she's done softball there. She does pitching. She's improved quite a bit, and she definitely enjoys it. She, does it every year. Our friends, a lot of our friends, their children also, they take their children to a lot of the rec programs that they have, and so just watching them, gain some confidence. When they first started, they're kind of shy. They didn't really want to play or anything, and then just watching them grow and feel more confident as the season progresses, and then as they keep bringing them every year. So I also did sports when I was younger. I did dance with Miss Root in Brandy, and so I did folklorico for about 11 years. I was 8 years old when I started, and Brandy and Miss Root are the ones that they taught me how to dance, Tokiani, and all that stuff, and so I was very involved in that sense. Always did the Cinco de Mayo dances, and so my parents would always be out there, watching me and stuff. But yeah, I've always been very active, and I do believe that if children have the opportunities to be involved in a lot of these activities, it grows their confidence, and it also makes them be well-rounded.
You have, okay, so I see the accounting background. I see you've been on nonprofits. Have you been on boards that I missed that?
No, this would be my first time being on board.
And do you have any experience with personnel?
Working with staff.
Yes.
Yes, so at the Kern Community Foundation, I did have 2 staff members that I oversaw. But as far as being on the board, this would be my very first time doing that.
And where do you see the district in 2, 5, 10 years? What vision, what would you bring? What would you bring?
I think that one of the things that might be useful would be my fundraising background, grant writing background. I think those would be the 2 main things that I think would be useful. Especially as you guys start to grow, you're bringing in funds and like, you know, I believe you have 45 acres out there that you're going to grow. I think it's going to be very necessary to have some good grant writers and some events that can bring in some additional funding.
Director Jones, do you have any questions?
Did I ask the same questions on this?
Can you tell me what makes you want to be a director?
One is it's something new that I've never done before. I've always been on the other side of the action, I guess. I would like to learn a little bit more about how I can best be of use to my community. A lot of the work that I've done has focused a lot in the Bakersfield area and in other areas, not necessarily where I lived. And so I think that's where I kind of want to get more involved in my own community and where I live and where our business is as well.
Do you have any questions for us at this time?
Okay, you're right there by Los Angeles, South Chapter in Los Angeles?
Yes.
Yes, yeah,
I've seen the signs, okay.
yes, yeah, we're right there. Yeah, so I think the only question that I have for you guys is, you know, are you guys thinking of having like, do you guys have a strategic plan in place, or are you guys working on, you know, just so we can see like you know, as you guys keep on growing, like where you are now and where we can be in the next 2 to 3 years? I think that would be something that I would be interested in learning a little bit more about.
We definitely do have a strategic plan. It's something that we have been working on for the last couple of years, and we've actually strategized and had meetings here with advisors, and we've had morning meetings and evening meetings and just overall conference calls. But yes, it is in the works actually.
Yeah, it's already the strategic plan, we just approved it last month, so.
Great.
And we can share that.
Yes. Any other questions?
No, I don't have any other questions, but if you guys have any questions for me, I'm definitely available.
Yeah, we can ask.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, this time should we just have to step up? Go ahead, take a seat, we're gonna call it a day for them.
Thank you.
We've never had that question asked before, but yeah, if you'd like to have a public comment, go ahead and you can stand at the podium and speak your name and give us your comment. I'm sorry?
Maybe I deal without the candidates again.
They have to be present. Yeah.
Yes, since everything's a public forum, we have to have everybody present. So,
Right, at this time, we're gonna go ahead and do a vote.
yes.
¿Sí quiere hablar? Sí.
Déjame pongo en la guillotina, pues. Yeah, I just want to make a comment. I don't know. I know that you are going to make a decision, but nothing against, you know, the gentleman. I think, you know, this lady have a lot of experience. And I believe she have potential and capacity to serve well on the board. And plus, I think you will see a lot of progress.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I got one.
Take charge.
Go ahead.
All right, so at this point, thank you both for coming forward and showing interest in Chapter Parks and Recreation District. We have other plans for you. We really do. At this point, I'm gonna make the motion that we appoint Christina Camacho for the vacancy for the remainder of the term, which will end in 2 years. Yeah. So you'll continue this year and next year. So the term will end in 20.
Should be 2026.
2026.
Yes. Because they're Nelson, Monroe, and Fortino will come off in 2024. And you and Canada will be
So
2026.
So in a sense, it's a 2 3/4 right, year. Is that?
And I will second that motion to go ahead and hire or elect, appoint, I'm sorry, Christina Camacho for the position. I do want to take a minute to say thank you for coming in and applying for that position. We're so grateful to have people that still want to volunteer for the other things that Director Rodriguez mentioned that we have plans for you. Thank you for taking the time and for being here. We really do appreciate it. Thank you.
Aye.
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 All right, so the next item is item C, Director, our Chairman Solis. And that is going to be the appointment of vacancies, so now we should read her oath.
So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to go ahead and proceed if you want to stand. We're going to go ahead and have you read the note.
So you just gonna repeat. And I gotta repeat after me.
Your right hand.
Okay, for the office of director
For the office of director
of the Shafter Recreation and Park District,
of the Shafter Recreation Park District,
I state your name,
I, Christina Camacho,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
and defend the Constitution of the United States
and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well
and that I would well
and faithfully
and faithfully
discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
and start the duties that in which I'm about to start. So help me God.
But yes, and we'll sign something in a minute. So welcome to the board.
All right. Yes, ma'am.
Can we have the minutes reflect that she's coming in now? Can we have the minutes reflect that?
Can we have a minutes reflect that Director at 8:12? So at this time, we're gonna go ahead and move to old business, item D for board committee assignments. Chair, that's it.
I would recommend you start with her.
Yeah.
On her strengths and then go through and the rest.
So.
Programs, first one is programs.
Trying to just look through the list here first. So we're towards the back after the applications. So for programs, I'm on there now. Let's see. Is that some,
Anybody like to be part of
does
programs?
anybody want to be part of programs? Mr. Chavez, Director Chavez?
So kind of how we usually do is that everybody, programs, anybody wants to participate in programs, say yes, 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 and then you can do less nominations. So anybody on programs? So it's Nelson and Chavez,
So we'll keep myself and Director Chavez on there. Okay. For personnel, I think you should join the personnel.
so you want to take Chavez off, or you want to take yourself?
I'll take myself.
Chavez and Camacho.
I'll go on facilities.
So we,
Back on facilities, Gary.
budget and finance. You want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So who's on, so who are we taking off, who are we keeping on?
I'll leave Fortino there because I know he wants that. And I jump into safety.
Now, you take the place of somebody that isn't even a big team.
Yeah, no problem.
So you're pretty much the alternate.
Yeah.
All right, so safety, it's Chavez and Salinas.
And then for ad hoc, groundbreaking ceremony.
You know, keep it the same.
Keep that the same. And then ad hoc wonderful committee fund, it was Valdivia and yourself. You guys want to keep that the same? It was Gary and Kevin. So if you guys want to make changes to that, again, this is,
No.
and again, this is a new year, so this was gonna change no matter what.
Okay. Okay.
I'd like to do 746 foundation.
Yeah, we need two candidates for that.
Okay.
So right now it's Valdivia and him by himself, so either we're gonna take Valdivia off and add two more candidates. I don't know if you want to do Chavez and Camacho. That's just my opinion.
For ad hoc.
For the foundation, you have to have two. So the foundation is developed with two staff members, two board members, and three committee members.
So right now,
Community members.
so right now it's Chavez and Valdivia.
So right now it's me, Angel as a staff, we're needing two board members. And we have one community member, and Valdivia has been serving on it, so I think you
All right, so
would be like to.
I'll do the 746 foundation.
Okay,
If you let Christina deal with it.
no problem. Watch out, number please. That person's address.
Gary Patrick, yes.
Okay, so I missed the ad hoc on the wonderful, who's taking that over?
So we have Christina and then we have Valdivia.
On the.
He's still, you said he's still on the right.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but in 746, if I understood correctly, we have Director Rodriguez and Director Camacho.
That's correct.
On the Wonderful Community Fund, we have Director Camacho, and you said you wanted to step back from that, Director Rodriguez?
Yes. and
Okay, so
Valdivia.
Valdivia, you put that flex, okay,
Yeah.
that's what I missed that, sorry. Thank you.
And then the ad hoc naming rights, we'll keep it the same with Nelson and Portillo, or?
Yeah, that's fine. That's you guys want to keep it.
And that you don't have to move on because as the chairman.
So can you add the 746 foundation on this list also, please?
Yes, I will add it to the list.
Okay, all right, so, I'll make the motion that we. No,
Do we-
we don't need one more appointment. All right.
Yeah, I'll send an appointment.
Okay, all right.
So we're all good on action and old business assignments. Now going into Old business item E, district special tax information from Mr. Jimenez.
All right, so, there's just an update, I really don't have too much, but just more of an update. The update that we received is, we received a call from the LA Times. And they are asking to do an interview with me. Reached back out to her, haven't heard anything in regards to that. And, that's pretty much the only update that I've received so far.
Nice.
Since the last one. That's it.
All right. Old item, old business, I'm sorry, section F, track and field. Mr. Jimenez, discussion of strategies and restore the track and field program.
All right, this is actually Gary's, so I'm gonna pass this to Gary. Track and field, yes.
Okay, so track and field is, used to be conducted in chapter by Mr. Anderson, who was the PE teacher at the time. And he took the kids from, I'm gonna say 4, 5, 6 years old up to 8th grade. So he took pretty much kindergarten all the way up to 8th grade. When he retired several years back, they only paid enough for a junior high team, so they have 6th grade and up. So the 5th grade and under at all of our schools here in Shafter do not participate in track and field. Now, what we've seen is TAPT has a lot of different schools, like Shafter has a lot of different schools. And they were able to bring these schools underneath the umbrella of the TAPT Recreation District. Now, granted that it's a little bit complicated here. The kids have to run for their own school, but they can still belong to the Shafter Recreation District. So Redwood kids will run for Redwood, Sequoia kids will run for Sequoia, Grow Academy will run for Grow Academy. But we want to be able to bring them under our auspices as a district so that these kids can participate in track and field. Remember, one of the goals that we've always had with this district is to get kids into college with college athletic scholarships, scholastic scholarships at any way possible. Shafter, we focus on football, basketball, and baseball. Okay, and now soccer, yeah, softball and soccer. Okay, we're still missing, some of the other areas of college athletic scholarships, tennis, golf, right? Volleyball, men's volleyball, women's volleyball. There's other vehicles that we can get kids into college through scholastic and academic scholarships. We're missing a void here. We have a void in the community that is missing. And it's my hopes that our district can fill that void that Mr. Anderson used to do on his own with the help of community members like Philip's dad used to go out there and coach. Okay, usted también? Yeah? Okay, so Gilbert, our consultant, was one of the coaches also. We've had great community involvement in the track and field arena, but it's always been through the school district. Now, I'm hoping that we can bring it with your approval, with your direction, if we can work on giving direction to staff to start that program. What do you guys think? What is that something that's doable, or what are your thoughts on that?
Well, as of right now, I know we're in the after-school programs. We're in all the LOP programs, so extended learning opportunity programs for the Richland School District. Towards the end of the month of January 20, beginning of the month, at the end of the month, we start with Grow Academy. So we do have our foot in the doors with the school districts already. So I think if we brought this to them, since it's an after-school program, and we can possibly work something out with them, it would be doable. During that, or maybe even, there's a couple different ways. We can do it that way. We can run our own rec league, where we just, rent out the track, charge a fee to get into the rec or to the football field. stadium and we use the Chapter High Stadium, which they have a beautiful track, but obviously we're not gonna pay for that, so it would be that we would have to take an admission fee to get into the facility. So there's several different ways that we can go about it. I think, at this time, if the board was to direct us to do that, we would need some specialists to be able to help us out with, because track and field, it does not just take 1 or 2 coaches, it takes a whole team to do that. You need a throwing coach, you need a sprinting coach, you need a distance coach, you need a hurdler coach, you have hurdlers. So it would take a big time to be able to do something in regards to that. So, if that's something that you guys are gonna direct us to do, just understand during that time, we also have baseball, softball, we also have basketball that's going on. Not saying that it's not doable, but just understand that.
So we may need some budget to
Yes.
hire some additional help or experts, what do you say, Philip?
My question is, it's based off each school, so are they gonna wear their school uniform, or is it gonna be like still a chapter?
So what we've done in the past is we've made shirts for them representing their colors. So Sequoia would be, I believe, they're green, but we had them as a darker green. We had Redwood as a royal blue. We had Sequoia as Grow as Golden Oak as red, Grow as a tin, because obviously Grow can, still, I think they're not green now, I'm not too sure what they are.
What are the deadlines to submit all the paperwork to whoever?
So we're gonna start it, we need to start advertising now, towards the end of March, and April is when the first meetings start taking place. So the end of March and the 1st of April. In the past, they did not like Rex participating, because they say pretty much, we can recruit. Obviously, we keep our own boundary lines, but we do allow other people to come out and be able to run with us. So that would be something that, but I don't think those gentlemen are around anymore, so there were some older gentlemen, and so I don't think they're around or coaching. So I think it would be doable. I know we've talked with the Richland superintendent at one point in time, asking, stating that we would want to help them, but they have not asked for help. But I know the after school program has mentioned something in regards to this for the Richland School District. So this is something we would be able to do. We do have staff that have thrown shot at a competitive level. So we would be able to kind of bring them on board with us. But like Gary said, we are gonna need a budget for this.
And I would recommend that we do the program committee meeting immediately so that we can hash it out, even if we start small. We may not wanna do all the track and, or all the field events, we may wanna just do the running events, who knows? You know, I wanna make sure that we get in there, and we start somewhere.
I think it's a great idea. I think it's definitely, like you said, an opportunity, something that we have to work on it, probably strategize more on it, and have it brainstorm that.
Yeah, we don't wanna overburden staff, but if it's an opportunity for us to grow and to.
Maybe something you said.
Yeah, I personally think if we stuck within our district and just ran and promoted into running events and long jump and high jump and kind of work with the high school, we have a beautiful stadium. So we would be able to schedule different, just like we do with baseball, just like we do with basketball, schedule certain
Even with our schools.
with our schools, and just have it then run right there at the high school. Charging an admission fee to where that admission fee would cover the cost of everyone that is in the facility, and we would help be able to pay the stadium, because the stadium fees are going to be charged a lot more. So that is some ways, but I think we can discuss this more with in a program committee.
Yeah.
But it's up to you guys and how you guys want to start us off with a budget, or how you guys want to go about it.
Yeah, I'm motion to just start strategizing and having a budget for this track and field program that we want to brainstorm.
I'll move on that motion.
Oh, no, sorry.
How does this affect the strategy?
So so strikers are cross country, this would be considered track and field. So 2 separate seasons, 2 separate,
They might even like.
one runs distance, the other one runs around circle. So it wouldn't be too much in effect. That actually, just like we do with baseball and softball, we play twice a year, it actually give them that opportunity to give other kids, you know, opportunity to run twice.
And one of the reasons why we are not participating is because our cross-country coach, right, was eliminated from our recreation district because his children go to a different school. And since we're track and field, the kids have to run for their school, we lost a coach. So, right? Correct. Yeah, so that's where we're at. We're gonna need to do some quick work on this. I've got time right now, so I'm willing to work on it right now.
All right.
Second.
I'll second that.
So second was Gary or second was?
Okay, I made the motion. No, I thought someone, he gave it to the motion, and I made anything. Okay, I'm sorry.
All right, number 10, new
So,
business.
sorry, so we didn't have a roll call, I'm sorry. Director Rodriguez,
Aye.
Director Chavez. Aye. Director Camacho. Chair Sanchez.
Aye. So number 10, new business, storage trailer, information from Mr. Jimenez for pricing information.
All right, this is where we have our maintenance team here. He looks excited. So storage trailer. So you all know that there was a big fire at the Richmond Aquatic Center. That took a big part of our storage. So with the storage trailer, we're looking to facilitate on wheels, you know, become very mobile in regards to using the trailer. So what we're looking is to add a trailer for storage, to take over parks, as sports at the parks where we load and water equipment, go to certain parks such as Customer Grove, use that as advertising, show up at Rodriguez Park, bring our trailer, have basketballs, have baseballs, have softballs, have different sports equipment, out to Customer Grove, have a pickleball court, pickleballs, the pickleball equipment to be able to have pickleball games, and you go to Vets Park to have soccer and stuff in that sense. So our goal is to be able to move equipment from one side of the district to the other side of the district. We have 2 vans that can pull this trailer, and so what we're looking at is one van has a trailer, one van with a hitch. And so we're looking between a 16-foot trailer, which costs $10,000 and $836. We're looking at a 20-footer or a 20-footer, which costs $12,000 and $617. And then the big one is a 22-footer, which is $14,617. So what I'm asking you guys is, we did budget for this. We would be able to claim this under our insurance claim for the facility burning down at the aquatic center. And so what I'm looking to do is to add a trailer to be able to help us move equipment from one side of the town to the other side of the town, or one side of the district to the other side of the district. Whether we're moving it from Shafter all the way out to Gospel Grove, to be able to use those, because they do have some sports complex out there, community sports park, which has a softball, mini size field, and we're able to store it. Yes, and we're going to store it and be able to store stuff in.
Versus, you don't have.
Yes, and we'll have it. Yes.
You mentioned 3 different sizes of it. What, in your recommendation, would be the size that you guys?
I like the 20-foot quote.
Yeah.
For 2 grand, you get more storage, but you know, from your 20-foot to 22-foot jump, it's not. It's worth it.
Correct.
Plus it's a lot long.
Yeah, so I would recommend doing a 20-foot. Obviously, this is not priced out with, because we're gonna wrap it. Obviously, we wanna wrap it to, like the vans, kind of something similar to that. But we start basketball here in a couple of weeks, so we wanna start this process as quick as we can. Yeah, well, at this time, we're gonna submit that claim to the insurance. Hopefully they do cover it because it is a storage unit.
And this is the only quote you got, or?
These are, I have three quotes. Yeah.
And that's the 12,000.
Yes, sir. Yeah, because right now, how we move our equipment is pretty much in the back of the trucks. And so, vans and stuff in that sense, so for us, it's really more of just trying to get something in regards to that, so. My recommendation to the board would be get the 20-footer, at $14,617, if you guys could just, give me both for 15,000, or grab me for 15,000, then that would, that should.
Okay, I'll motion to go ahead and approve $15,000 for 20-foot trailer.
Aye.
Aye. Alright. Okay, any reports for the board members? I just want to take a minute and let Philip know that Angel, all the staff, are as well. You guys did a great job during this bid that we had from Mr. Valadale. I think you guys had everything very organized. I think it was a great timing the way you guys set it up with Madu and all the members here that participate. I learned a lot personally myself, the things that I hadn't seen, and I thought it was pretty amazing. So I just want to commend you guys for working so hard. I know a lot of the times we don't see like the important stuff, especially older family members that we kind of lose sight of because we're so busy day in, day out. But I just thought it was very touching. I felt very humbled to be part of just a little help that I could give, and you guys being there all the time. I feel like it's pretty amazing. So I just want to give you guys a big round of applause and thank you guys for all your hard work.
Thank you.
I'd like to personally thank you and staff for getting the track and field on the agenda. Mr. President, no. Nice job, eh? Sure. I like presidents.
We have a president for the foundations.
I'm pleased to see that as I come back off of stress leave, that I see that you guys are really taking care of business. You did a really nice job with the last one. Yeah, no, it's just, it's in you. It's in you. It's just a part of it, right? And you get up and then you go work, then I go, yay, my alumno, yay, going up on the, get involved there, all right? And thanks for coming on. I think we're gonna have a great time here. Okay? So, everybody, thank you for getting the minutes and everything from official minutes, so we can sign those. Thanks for all the checks and everything that you write. I wish one or two would put my name in this. Yeah. Staff, Angel, you guys did a nice job today. I've been happy with
Everybody give an applause, man.
Some translations say that.
I'm looking forward to basketball. And I'm looking forward to track and field.
Okay, any other comments, anybody else? Okay, future agenda items.
I just want to thank everyone. I'm very excited to be on board, and, I hope that I help our youth go in any way, moving forward, so, thank you.
We do have an SDLA event coming up soon in San Francisco, Director Chavez, the deadline is June 13th, so.
I'm just gonna be on some bargains on the.
We shall. What date is it for?
First week of February.
Cheating?
Usually 3 days. It's in slow, so you don't gotta go all the way to the Bay Area or all the way down south. It's in San Francisco.
Doesn't matter.
Steve, you go. Allison? Yes. Hey.
Somebody with us all, yes.
You're going to?
Yeah.
Okay.
I might have to borrow that trigger. I saw the RV pictures on my way. Okay, guys. So number 12, any future agenda items for SRPD mascot, farming related policy, driver safety policy, naming rights for sure, salary scale. For
Yes, oh gosh, so yeah, we will, need to have we will need to update the salary schemes, so the wages have changed over. It's down $16 an hour, so. Gotta get everybody up to par.
Executive session. Okay. Okay, guys, so we are going to adjourn this meeting 8:40.